This is Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick. Thanks to NRMA Insurance and Uniden.
That's us, and great thank you to the good people at NRMA Insurance, a help company helping Australians protect what matters most for almost 100 years. NRMA Insurance is one of the largest insurers of electric vehicles in Australia, and of course, Uniden smart dash cams. You are mad if you're not protecting your investment with the dash cam. Stephen, you can attest to this. A dash cam can give you that peace of mind.
Absolutely.
Of knowing exactly what happened to your beautiful electric vehicle if someone was driving through a car park and maybe wasn't paying attention and bumped into you.
Tune into our private feed. You'll hear all about that. And luckily I had a dash cam, so that was pretty cool.
Got to have a dash cam, folks. It keeps that peace of mind going. Yes. So great to have your company, folks. If you want to get in touch, if you have an electric car, if you're in the market for an electric car, if you have an opinion on electric cars, pro or con, we don't mind. Happy to talk about it. I'm very vocal about my opinion on Teslas, for example. I'm happy to share those with you. Others accept that, others don't, and that's cool. That's why we've got a free and open conversation. 0477 657 657. Send us a text. We'll get you on the show as soon as we can. Quickly, the Model Y thing, I've seen a lot more videos of it lately, and it does look
hang on, where is it? I
better
took
from
a
the
photo
back.
of one. There was one on the back of a truck when we were in America.
It looks a little bit better from the back. But the rear quarter is still a touch toadish to me. It's keeping the name just because it's endearing, folks. Just because it's endearing.
I took a photo of it on the back of a truck heading towards the
Row
Tesla
to the
store in Santana Row in San Jose. And then when I walked back an hour and a half later, it was in the showroom.
Let me give you a tip, folks. Yeah. Don't buy the white one. It looks horrible. No, it's still a toad.
You think so?
No, it's still a toad.
Still a toad.
Now,
the front of it's got the whole, the Cybertruck-ish look,
that's great,
which
mate.
we've talked about.
Also, one of the ugliest cars in the world.
It's not.
It is.
Look, the new one, I've got to say, I didn't mind the old one.
The Cybertruck I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, Cybertruck.
The
That's
Model
an
Y
acquired taste, the Cybertruck.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So we have been in America for a large part of the start of the year. We came to you from CES talking BMW. Look, I don't want to brag, but we're basically American citizens.
Not quite. We didn't vote.
Also, not a brag. But we do have a new president over there in America, and he has made some pretty big assertions and statements, and I'm sure he's signed executive orders because he loves to do that.
He loves doing that.
But he's also best mates with, one of the owners of the biggest car companies in the world, Tesla.
Yeah,
so how does that work?
Well, he's. I think Elon is supposed to be sort of making sure that they're not wasting money and doing all that, right? So was it the Department of Government Expenditure or
Government
something?
Efficiency.
So, so Trump and Musk were pretty much sort of shoulder to shoulder during the campaign, but. The day we arrived in the US the day of the inauguration.
That's right.
And I heard live the fact that one of Trump's executive orders was to, because Joe Biden introduced it, he revoked the EV incentives.
Right.
So, in the US, there were most states had very generous incentives. If you buy this, you get a $5,000 rebate or whatever. So there was all these deals. People thought, okay, maybe weren't considering an EV, but because of the incentive, they thought, well, let's give it a go.
But to be clear, he hasn't revoked the state ones. He can't do that, but he's revoked any federal subsidies.
Federal subsidies are gone. So it means that, and it just goes to show that he's not kicking favours over to his mate Elon Musk, right? So
that's a good point.
This ruling is going to affect Musk's
If anyone wanted to
line.
suggest any form of insider trading style involvement, he'd be upping the incentives, wouldn't he?
I think the incentive here was to get rid of it because it was imposed by Joe Biden.
Funny that.
Number one.
Funny how politics works like that.
And also, I think the other thing too is that the reading between the lines, he did this to give the other companies, he wanted a level playing field. He said, why should EV companies have an advantage? The market should sort itself out.
Right.
So, because he's obviously thinking about Ford and all these companies that make cars in America. Tesla makes them in America too. But that, to me, seemed to be the market will decide for itself rather than us giving a favour.
Which is essentially the way he operates as a businessman.
Absolutely right.
So we won't know the impact it has for many months, probably.
And whether that'll sort of reverberate around the world. Whenever the US make a decision, it's like, if America sneezes, the world gets a cold sort of thing.
Well, the big example of that is the China conversation, and that's why there's not a lot of supply of Chinese cars in America because there's a lot of tariffs and things and that hanging over them.
He loves the tariff.
So
Trump,
the idea of the Chinese car companies having factories, having supply, well, where do they send it? So Australia is definitely a destination for that.
Totally,
We're seeing it with Xpeng and Deepal and all these brands you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Over and above BYD, which up until 3 years ago no one had heard of.
Yeah.
So that we are going to have a huge revolution in Chinese cars, mainly because of probably the lack of Chinese cars in America.
So I think it's Australia's a more like a consumer-friendly market for them, eh? So we're a bit more likely to consider them, whereas the US, you're saying, has got high tariffs, and so not the ideal destination.
Also, they're not making the cars that people in the US buy. En masse, they're buying F-150s and Tundras and
cars.
Rams.
Big cars.
The American car market is just vastly different to Australia, let alone the rest of the world.
True. Yeah.
So it's kind of going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. The subsidy thing, I don't think it's going to have a massive impact until or unless states follow.
Yeah.
And, the states may follow. They may go, you know what, if he's kind of given the agreement to just get rid of these things, then maybe we'll do the same.
But will it? My question is, will it send EV sales? Will it put a bit of a dent in them? Will it slow them down a little bit?
I think it depends on
in the US.
on the impact in state by state.
Yeah.
I don't think California's state-based subsidies are going to be impacted by a Donald Trump decision, right?
Okay.
And we know, having been there, California,
there is every second car is a Tesla.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
The way they've incentivized that. Oh, yeah.
Every second car, especially in this. We were staying in San Jose, and it was.
But it's not the same in LA, though. So it is a very Northern California thing, which could be put down to being a tech bro thing. Could be a wealth thing.
Could be
and
also.
Could be
They're
local.
They make them up the road.
Whereas if you're around LA, there's a lot of EVs.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot. I would say the ratio of Tesla to other electric is far lower in LA.
Los Angeles,
and certainly the EV ratio is lower
I think
in
too,
LA.
there'd be for those drivers who need to drive a fair way and they're concerned that the EV might not have the range for them.
Yeah,
because LA, you can't survive in LA without a car, and the freeways and being able to drive long distances on the freeways is, I think, central to what a lot of Angelinos they need to do, be able to do. So an EV perhaps for them. Not as ideal as, say, someone living in San Francisco or those other areas where there's a charger on every street corner.
It will be an interesting year. So we'll follow the sales in America to see if there's been an impact there, but we'll also keep a close eye on the Chinese brands coming to Australia and whether or not supply is something they're able to push, which is because supply increase should bring prices down. So that should have a positive effect for Australians in the EV market.
Certainly.
We will follow that as it happens here on Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Thanks to NRMA Insurance and Union, and most importantly to you. If you want to be on the show, just get in touch. Get your phone. Not someone else's, get your own. And send a text 0477 657 657. Thanks for your company, Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. I've just realised, Stephen, I'm
a walking.
You're a walking green screen on the show where we have the green background too.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You're not going to have any trickery on me, are you?
Is it a clash?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll need a
complimentary.
We'll need someone with an opinion on fashion too. Anyway, Stephen, 0477 657 657 is the number to send a text to if you bought an EV, you want an EV, you love EVs, you hate EVs, whatever it is, you want to talk EVs, we're here for you. And Stephen, I've got great news.
Yes.
Because I've been calling for this person to get back in touch for some time now. On the line right now is Penelope. Penelope, g'day.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Penelope, it's so great to hear from you again. We often refer to you on the show. I don't know whether you've been listening, but we hold you as the record holder for the number of test drives you've done in an EV.
Do you remember when we spoke to you? When was it?
That was about a year ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe July.
Oh, okay.
And you had driven at the time, I think, 11 cars.
11, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait for it. We got to 16.
16, wow. The record has been broken.
Okay, before you tell us where you're at with it, do you remember what those last few were? Like, which were the ones that came late to the consideration?
All right. So then we did, after our last conversation, we drove a Subaru, the BMW, do they say i1? Anyhow, the one.
Yep.
The Mini Countryman, which I loved, but we'll get to that. The Polestar, no, we'd already done that. A Smart #1, Smart #3, and the the Kia EV5.
Ooh,
Yep.
what do you think? What do you think of the Kia? I want to know about that.
I know. Well, look, the thing that I didn't mention, Tim and I are small people. We're not tall. So we got into the EV5 and we just felt we still felt it was a big car because don't forget we're coming from a Corolla hatch.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Is that why you love the
so
Countryman
us,
then? Is that why you love the Mini?
Oh, I loved the Countryman. I thought it was a great car, but I thought it was too expensive and it was missing a few things. Beautiful, just a beautiful car and a lot of fun to drive.
Do you have a spreadsheet going during this time? How do you keep track?
Oh, in my head, look, I do like a good spreadsheet, but no, didn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I know what you bought.
Yeah,
but
can
Stephen
you
doesn't,
make the
and
big
neither do
reveal?
our listeners.
Yes. Make the big reveal, Penelope. What did you settle on?
As always, something niche. We went for the smart #3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the smart car. So this is a
5-star
this is a
rating.
sub brand of Mercedes in a sense because it's a Mercedes owned company in Germany. It was originally this little tiny smart 2x2, this very weird little European cars made for little European cities, but they've really expanded now into I would say more traditional looking cars, and they've gone into the electric space essentially to be the electric brand of the Mercedes group.
Right.
What drew you to them in the first place?
All right, look, we really like the look of it, the rounded look of it.
Yep.
It's a nice looking car. It's really well designed inside, we thought. I think probably reflecting some of the Mercedes values. So designed by Mercedes, built by Geely. So is that how you pronounce it?
Yes,
and he had a
Chinese,
partnership between Geely and so that's what. Look, we went and had a look at it. We went, we both agreed at the same time that we liked the look of it.
That's
so
huge.
there was a consensus on that.
Yep.
So that that was one of the barriers that was knocked down pretty quickly. As I said, we liked the design, the interior, liked the exterior. We think it drives well. It also had vehicle to load, so that was one of the first things that I
So
would
you can,
ask.
You can
was a
plug something in when you're out and about?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
power something,
unlike exactly, whereas the Mini Countryman didn't have that, and for something that was, by the time we would have bought it, it probably would have cost about $82,000. I just went, no, that's out. Doesn't have it.
And so, how long have you had the car, Penelope? How long have you been driving it?
No, we haven't got it yet. We'll be getting it in March. No. So that can be another update.
Yeah.
You are. And so look, what did I say? Vehicle to load.
Yeah.
We also like the fact that it had a display instrument. What do you call it? No, the dash.
cluster.
The bit in front of
The driver cluster.
Yes. The cluster, thank you, and it also has the heads-up display. Then it's got, the screen on the side. The only thing is it doesn't have all the little knobs to press for your air conditioning and whatnot. But I think we'll get used to that.
You do,
yeah. So
you do get used to that stuff, yeah. Which
exciting.
variant did you go for? Because it looks like and we haven't driven it yet, to be honest. You've driven it before us. It looks like there's a Pro Plus, a Premium, and a Brabus. I'm tipping you didn't get the Brabus.
No, well, that was hilarious. We went for the Premium. We didn't go to the Brabus. The salesman said, I don't think I'll let you two drive that. No, he was sort of joking. But look, who needs a car to accelerate as quickly as the Brabus does?
Thank you. Penelope,
Yeah.
I think it's the dumbest
crazy
metric in the history of motoring. It's
Tesla have sold a few cars on that metric, I think.
they're not on that metric, though. No one's using it.
There's a few there that like to
Was
know
the
if you got
range the reason you went for the Premium? Because it looks like it's got the highest range of the three.
Yeah, look, it's got 450. It's not, and that's one of the reasons why we definitely went for that, because I was always like, it would be good to have a longer range, i.e. the Kia EV3 that's, will hit the market. But with the Kia one, I at one point said, right, no more looking at cars. Let's wait for the Kia EV3.
Yeah.
But then I thought, no, I'm done with this, because it could be like last year where we waited forever for that EV5 to come out. So timing was right for us.
So decision made, deposit down, and delivery in March. Wow.
Yeah, and the only thing I have to do is to say, right, I'm sticking with the colour. I'm not changing my mind.
What is that colour? What did you already mention that? What colour are you getting?
It's mint green, and I haven't seen one mint green because it's such a niche car.
Is
you don't
is
see
that on
it.
the site?
There's one on the website that's like a yellow, but you could be described as mint green. Would that be it, or is it?
No. It's sort of like a pale green. Anyhow, so
bold choice. Very good.
Yeah, and look, the other thing I didn't mention, the salespeople, the person who sold it to us was very good. He was persistent, but he was very good. He knew his stuff.
Yep. That's what you want when you.
Yeah, and I think it's.
If there's a good guy giving you good service, giving you good advice, then he's obviously his goal is to sell you a car, but you want that good rapport with that person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
Is it called Future Green or Mint Green?
Is it Future Green? I don't know.
Future Green,
is it Future Green?
Give me a look, Trev. Show me, Trev. He's got the website up here,
look,
Trev.
it's a very. I like it. It's not a colour that pops, but it's I don't know how to describe it.
Who's got a similar colour? MG got a colour like that. MG, the MG4 is a similar colour. Yeah.
I got to tell you, flicking through the premium colours
to load as well.
They've got some really nice colours on this. They've got the bright, vibrant colours if you really want it, but they've also
pink there.
They've got a pink one, but they've also got just some really nice, like a ceramic two-tone, one tone, a blue two-tone.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're gorgeous, but we just went no because we don't take care of our cars.
I like that colour.
You don't take care of your cars, Penelope.
Oh, you will now, though, I hope.
Look, we're pragmatic.
Well,
and look, the only other thing, the size, it fits into our driveway beautifully, and it had the 360 cameras, and it also had, do you call it augmented display, which is really important for me to see cars coming up.
What is, Penelope, what are you going to do about charging?
I was just going to say, as an expectant parent, what's the nursery preparation going on?
Yeah, you're building the nursery.
Well, we have to do a whole heap of things. Yeah, look, we've got a charger coming with it, so we'll install that. But initially, we'll just do the granny charging whilst we're waiting to set everything up because we actually have to change our switchboard. We have to upgrade that. Anyhow, have to put more switches in it. But look, that is the plan. We will eventually just use the charger that we install, and it does have fast charging too. It's quite.
The battery are pretty good, and the wall charger get you a good charge.
I got to tell you, did the salesman know you'd driven 15 other cars?
I sort of mumble it to them, but I don't think they believe me when I tell them. They'd say, now do you know about EVs? And I'd go,
do you ever?
Yeah, I do.
You could host this show, Penelope, if you wanted to. You could host right. I
was going to say, I'm going to be away for a couple of weeks in April. You want to come up
and fill in? Yeah, fill in for Trevor.
Yeah, sure. And look, the other thing is I'm glad we're having this conversation because my husband will stop saying, I've been listening to the boys. You have to call them Penelope.
Good on you, Tim, you legend.
Good luck. Yeah.
Oh, Penelope, I'm genuinely excited for you. I'm really glad that you not only that you kept test driving, but you found something that you love. It's also awesome that you found something you both love straight away. Yeah. I love that it's niche. It feels you're a bit like me. You want that something just a little different. You don't want to be just a sheep in the flock, which is great. But they are impressive cars. So. I can't look. As I said, we haven't driven one yet. I'm going to get back into the cars over the next few months. We'll start booking them again, but can't wait to drive one because I've heard good things. And your recommendation, I reckon, is better than any recommendation I could ever hear on any car journo because no one's driven more than you.
I can see the pull quote for the hashtag. Driven by Penelope, who's test driven 15 other cars.
Yeah, that's it.
We were the winner.
I'll let them know.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm not kidding you. I need to work out where the linkage is to Smart because I don't even have it in there. But I'm telling them this story.
Oh, yeah.
I think they will love this story, Penelope, and I think it should be applauded that for them that they won your business.
They won it.
Well, good point. Yep.
Good on you, Penelope. We look forward to hearing it, mate. You know what? Next time, no disrespect, but how about Tim gives us a call and tells us what the car's like after you own it? Yeah. I mean,
we need
just
experience.
Is he a bit nervous or something?
No. We all get a turn in the house. Yep.
Very good.
Lovely to talk to you and catch up with you.
Good on you, Penelope.
Likewise.
Thanks so much for reaching out.
Okay, then. Bye.
Good on you. See ya. There you go.
Mate,
16 cars.
And
we found a winner.
Mate, that would be a badge of honour for them.
Absolutely.
They won out over 15 other cars.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Tim, you need to send us an email. I need the list.
Yeah, please.
I need the full list.
Yes.
We could listen back, obviously, to what she told us last time because she did list them off.
Yeah.
But fascinating.
And
I don't think
and good news that
in a million years you would have picked the Smart 3 because I don't think you've even heard of it. Do you know what I mean? Like when she sent that message, I went, "Oh wow!" I had to look it up. But I look for that's the thing. We've got so much ahead of us
because
this
that's a Mercedes-Benz sub-brand. And
so
is that the
Chinese
old Smart? Remember Smart? Is that them? That's their electrified.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they've made that the electrified brand. It's a
these may be really small compact cars.
Co-partnership with the Chinese brand Geely. So they build them. Mercedes designs them. All that kind of stuff. So
nice.
Very cool. Awesome to hear from you.
Found a solution.
If you've been on the show and you've got an update to your story, that's how hard we've been pushing away at this. We're into the second year of the show.
Yeah, well into
we want to hear back from you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for getting in touch. You can get in touch as well. 0477 657 657. We'd love to hear from you. I'm so glad the camera was on you for a moment there. If you're listening to the podcast via audio, now's your chance to go to YouTube and watch the show because Stephen, wow, the dance moves.
Dancing like an Egyptian.
They're a bit out there.
Remember they clipped that one?
I do remember it. We've talked about it before. 0477 657 657. Rob's on the line. G'day, Rob.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Yeah, really good. EV owner, EV buyer. What's your world, mate?
No, I'm an EV owner. I've got a Polestar long range dual motor.
Very nice.
And it's a very good thing.
It's a great car.
Are you happy with it, Rob?
It is a great car. I am happy with it. The only thing I would really love is to be able to access the drive battery to power the solar at home, to power the
vehicle to grid.
No, well, not vehicle to grid. I don't need vehicle to grid because we're totally off grid. V2L would do me.
V2L,
or V2H.
Right.
Yeah.
And Polestar, no models do that yet, or?
I believe the 3 and 4 are to be geared up to do it, and it's a software thing. There is a company in, I think it's Germany, that said that they've actually been able to do it with a Tesla and a Polestar, but they haven't responded. So I'll keep following that up.
What drew you to the Polestar? Is it that it's more traditional as a vehicle? Is that what you like more?
No, I had a Volvo before that. I had a Volvo 90 before that, and and this one actually came up second hand, and it was too good a deal to knock back. It only had 5,000 Ks on it, and it was
nice.
Just grabbed it.
Do you look at other cars? Do you have an opinion on the way the cars are being built today in terms of the high tech nature of them?
I drove a Model Y, and that I probably would have bought a Model Y if it had V2L in it, because it's hard to beat that. It's hard to beat that package, I think. I know you have your opinion of the look of it, but it's hard to beat that package.
It's been redesigned now, mate.
For the money.
It's going to look a lot nicer now, but yeah.
It is.
So do you like do you like that sort of to me the Tesla for some customers it's a bit too sterile, it's a bit too techie and clean.
I mean, Stephen's had the polar opposites, I would have thought. The Tesla is the most minimalist design of all, yet the Mercedes is so traditional a vehicle. It's really just a big screen that's advanced. I wonder how much that influences people's buying. What do you think?
Oh, I think I've read quite a few articles where somebody said, we looked at the Tesla and we looked at a Kona or something like that, and my wife said, I just want a car that looks like a car.
Yeah.
I don't want a spaceship. So
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
Again, I'd say for the money you pay for a Tesla, it is a pretty good package. Yeah. But and the new one, and who knows what price they'll be in 12 months.
Well, I don't think you know what price they'll be in 1 month with Tesla, the way they operate. No. But the Polestar you've got is pretty high tech. Google as the operating system. Do you find that easy to use? Did you find it hard to adjust to? Because I've never had one for long enough to really truly buy into it. I'll be honest.
No, I actually find it pretty good. It's actually better than the XC90 that we had. The XC90 you had to dive in everywhere to get to whatever you wanted. But the Polestar, the Apple CarPlay has its ups and downs, but the But yeah, no, it's pretty easy to access everything. You've got a main menu, and then you've got other sort of branch menus that you can use. But I do wish that somebody would just bring out a car that was, well, to give you an example, a Subaru Forester. You could buy a bog-based Subaru Forester that did everything you want. It was all-wheel drive. You threw the kids in it. You didn't worry about getting it dirty. It didn't have leather seats. It had a radio, and it went from A to B, and it was really economical. And, you didn't
not
well,
overly
back then
technical.
You didn't need sat nav, and you could use your phone for sat nav and that sort of thing. I mean, you can get Apple CarPlay in a $25,000 Kia Pinto if you really want it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, we live out in the country, and like the Polestar actually lives in town because I don't want to take it out to the farm.
Oh.
So but having something that was more rugged and a basic EV. And I say a Forry is a great example.
Yeah, it's a great car. It's a very robust car. People love the Forester.
You get a hybrid, Forester now, okay?
Yeah, you're probably Stephen's probably right. Your probably best next step in that world is the plug-in hybrid, which is happening even with your RAV4s and things like that. So I guess it's part of the evolution.
Or an all-electric ute. How many EV utes?
Yeah, an all-electric ute. But again, we've had this discussion before, but if I can buy a something like that with a 70 kilowatt hour battery in it for $50,000, to add 70 kilowatts of battery to my
house, your setup,
house system, I get a free car.
Yeah.
So the car. So vehicle to load is what you're after, right? Or vehicle to grid?
Yeah, because you're not on the grid, so you only need load output or vehicle to home.
MGs have vehicle to load too. MG, there's a few there with vehicle to load. V2L.
A lot of Hyundais, a lot of Kias.
There's plenty that do it, but
you want the technology to be democratized to a whole new level, Rob, so that we get just basic offerings in the market. But unfortunately, the modern and current electric car is essentially a luxury offering still at every brand.
Yeah.
Think of it like MG, right?
Piece.
MG have a cheap MG3, and the MG4, which is a petrol car, the MG4 is actually a luxury offering in the MG lineup. Yeah. So, we don't have any company that really offers electric as a entry point.
Yeah.
And that's probably the big change.
Everyone's got a smartphone. We want to be able to access aspects of the smartphone while we're driving, hence the reason for the screen, CarPlay, Android Auto. So that's the techie side of things that is kind of a requirement now, isn't it, for cars?
But that said, you can go and buy at Super Cheap or whatever.
Yeah, little head-up unit.
Yeah.
A head-up unit or a
CarPlay to give you CarPlay. Yeah, true.
To give you CarPlay, yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's,
okay.
You want to come back to the old singled-in radio. You just want a push-in radio.
Singled in with little presets.
Little aux port. You're done, Rob.
Well, I just sold a 350Z and it when I bought it and it came up on a truck from Sydney and it still had a cassette in the cassette player.
Well, what was the tape? What was it?
Billy Joel or something? Earth, Wind and Fire.
Earth, Wind and Fire. Nice tunes.
Well, good to hear from you again, Rob, mate. Enjoy the country life and enjoy that Polestar, buddy.
See you, boys.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for getting back in touch, mate. Really good to hear from you. Rob, living off-grid.
Off-grid in the country. Yeah,
we spoke to him a few months ago. He's got the whole setup off-grid and solar and all that stuff. So just
Wouldn't
that
you
little...
love to be living in the country off-grid? How good would that be?
I mean...
That'd be amazing.
With your power bills, yeah. Stephen's filthy.
Don't talk about that now, mate.
Who likes talking electric cars? Lines are closed for another week, Stephen. There it is. The lines are closed.
We had a couple of good chats there.
But we'll open them up again in a week. 0477 657 657. This is
shy.
Easily.
Come on in.
And I've done a lot of research. This is easily the most exclusive talkback EV show in the world. Name me two other EV shows that take calls from real people, real listeners, the audience, the buyers, the owners.
Yeah.
Name them. Send me their names.
Couldn't do it.
I don't believe they exist. And we're proud to do that because I think it makes for really compelling listening. And if Penelope wasn't the highlight of your 2025 so far, I don't know
Yes.
what is. Tim, you're next, brother.
Tim, we want to get you on, mate. That's it.
So I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely. No, it's good.
You know what?
And I'm so happy she's actually settled on a product car.
And
It's
here's the
great.
weird thing. I am super excited to drive that same car.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
It's
get into
really
a smart
good.
car
Absolutely.
and see what Penelope saw in the car.
She's driven all these other cars and she chose that. She drove basically every EV you could buy.
It feels that
And
way. Well,
chose
and
that.
remember, that was narrow too. She wanted a small car.
Yeah.
She was replacing a Corolla and went every
Yes.
car that fits this metric, and there she did it.
Boom.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars back again next week, and we do it all thanks to NRMA Insurance and Uniden Smart Dash Cams. See you then, Stephen.
Take it easy. You're like DJing at the end there, weren't you?